What up, Patreon people? Probably Dunzo Donald's. Let's get that in there really quick.
Hey, buddy.
Probably, so maybe, we've moved down to $2 now, and I really just want one other person to subscribe. Because remember when you said you wanted to make a Patreon, and I'm like, no one's going to subscribe to that. And you're like, people are going to subscribe to that. And then no one subscribed to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recall.
You remember that, Chadley?
We're getting them in. They're reeling in.
All right. Well, what do we got today here, Chadley?
Today is spooky epidemic time.
Damn. Is it that time again?
The scary movies. We're talking about Candyman 3, Day of the Dead, baby.
Uh-huh.
A third one.
Wow, they made 3.
We already talked about 1 and 2 on the Patreon last month. This month, we're finishing it off. Candyman 3, Day of the Dead. Dude, I can't fucking believe. Okay, I want to talk about something about Candyman 3, Day of the Dead that pisses me off.
What's that?
This thing was impossible to fucking find. This thing was so fucking hard to find. It's not on Netflix. It's not on any streaming service. It's not on Google Play. You can't rent it. They don't want my money. It's not on iTunes or Cineplex store. You know where I found this fucking thing?
Where'd you find it, Chadley?
This thing is on the Roku channel.
I don't even know what that is.
That is a channel of free movies,
it's
shitty
like
movies, but free. Yeah, it's like Tubio.
It's like Crackle.
But it only works on Roku products, like my Roku television that I have.
Good thing you have Roku television then.
Thank fuck I have Roku television.
I had to buy the DVD off Amazon, and I had to overnight it to get this movie.
Yeah, I saw the DVD on Amazon. I thought about it, and then I'm like, no, there's a way to watch this for free.
I stole it. I pirated it. I watched it on one of those Russian websites.
Yep. Can't really speak.
This is the Patreon. We can say whatever we want. The feds aren't paying $2. I know they're not.
Look. After they gave out all that fucking free money, they don't even have $2. Candyman 3, Day of the... Oh, also, just one more thing about Roku channel. I just want to get this out, because when the fuck will I ever talk about Roku channel ever again? This fucking thing, it's free, but it has commercials. And here's why I find that interesting. Is that the commercials have, they interject the commercials at, logical points, like scene transitions. So that means...
Someone had to watch all those movies.
Someone had to watch Candyman 3, Day of the Dead, to figure out where the fuck to put the Starburst commercial. Huh? Crazy. I'm also on a diet, and all the commercials were for candy, so I'm pissed.
Yeah. You look bloated, though.
Well, I'm always going to be fat. I'm just trying not to die as soon.
You kind of want to die, though.
Yeah, but I'm okay with the concept of dying. I just don't want to do the act of dying. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, when I murder you later, it'll be you'll like it a lot, I think.
Yeah, I want to be dead.
So Candyman 3 Day of the Dead starts off with some sort of weird 2001 spooky space mirror odyssey.
Dude, that's what I wrote. I said it's a Kubrick bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm in. And that second I'm in. 10 seconds later, this movie's crazy because 10 seconds in, I'm totally invested. 10 seconds later, I'm out. And here's why.
Why is that?
Because 10 seconds later, you realize, she goes, the Candyman was my great-great-grandfather. And you're like, no fucking way.
Same.
Is this going to be the same movie again?
Well, we knew it was going to be because at the end of Candyman 2...
he's dead.
No, the daughter of the girl in the last one is the same character. And you know what that means? It means that this one takes place in 2020.
Whoa, you're right. The current year.
It takes place in the current year.
But the problem is that they don't really touch on that at all.
They mention it, but they don't look like they're from 2020. Did you see the eyebrows? Did you see the 90s clothing?
Yeah, this is that is something I noted. This is the most 1999 shit I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
In everything in this movie is the most 1999 shit. But here's the thing. Remember how in the last one Mardi Gras was just happening casually in the background, but it had nothing to do with the movie?
Yeah.
They did the same thing again.
Day of the Dead.
This time.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I was like, no way they're gonna do this
So
same
much
thing.
the same movie.
It's like it's so identical to the
Now,
like. Look,
remember in the last one when they killed the mirror and they killed the Candyman? This time they're like, well, it's actually the art now. We
yes,
decided it's the art now.
but the problem is they never ever explain that until she destroys the painting at the end.
Yeah.
Not for a second.
But you know what they
explain
do explain? They explain how he became the Candyman with the same scene from the last one.
Okay, yes, but also no, and here's why. Because they show the same scene where they're covering him with the honey and the bees are going on him, but in the last one, that scene took place during daylight. In this one, it took place in evening? Huh? What are you saying now? That the story's different?
Well, it's a myth, Chadley. Maybe it can change.
What the fuck? This part's not a myth. This is the documented facts. The myth is like whether you say, and then they start doing the thing where they say the name into the mirror, and you're like, oh, well, I know where this is going, obviously. Because she does this. You remember in the last one where she's like, I'm going to prove to everyone he's not real by saying Candyman 5 times into a mirror?
Uh-huh.
And then in this one, the girl does the same fucking thing. Dude, it's crazy to me. I was watching this. I was buffaloed. I thought maybe I was rewatching the second movie by accident.
It's very similar, but this time we got Donna D'Errico from Baywatch and Playboy fame with those banging titties. She's got those nipples that look like they're chewing through the shirt. They look like they're like eating through the shirt.
By the way, every second there's an opportunity to take off her shirt, she's in.
That's right. At the time, she was married to Nikki Sixx. Of Nikki Sixx fame. I think he was in a band, but now he's on the radio for some reason.
He was in
and
School
here's the
of
thing.
Rock.
Here's the thing about putting these fucking weird rock stars who grew up on Howard Stern on the radio is that they're not Howard Stern, but they try to be, and I hate that shit, dude. Hate that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't even like Howard Stern, but if you're trying to be an imitation of that sucks, dude.
And it's crazy to me that they did that same Howard Stern bit twice. But let's get away from the fact that this is nearly an identical twin to Candyman 2, which is an identical twin to Candyman 1. Huh?
That's right.
Like, here's the thing. If you thought Candyman 1 and 2 were similar, dude, they basically seem like completely separate movies compared to 2 and 3.
Yes.
Because 2 and 3 takes even like the scene where like there's so many scenes, like where her roommate dies and then the cops are taking her away in slow-mo. That's also in the other 2 movies. And then the scene where Candyman opens his cloak and you see his exposed ribs with the bees. Hey, you can't do that. Reveal thrice. Okay, in the second movie, just have him have the exposed ribs and then just keep going. You can't. Oh, anyway, let's talk about what makes this movie unique, which is very few things. This movie does something that's so crazy. Because, I'm going to be honest with you, I hate this movie. This one sucks.
It's not very good. It doesn't have the Candyman theme at any point. Do. Not even a second of it. Not a little tiny bit of it. Not even a little. Don't even give me one note of it. You're not even going to give me one note of the do.
Yeah. What I do like about this movie, though, is that when they go back to, the woman that he fell in love with, it's clearly just that girl.
Yeah.
It's clearly, that same actress. So we're, running on Family Guy rules that all relatives look identical to each other.
Yeah. Well, what I like is that in every new movie, they just change the painting of Caroline, the Candyman's wife, to whoever the actress is. That's what I really like, because they've done it 3 times now.
Yes, absolutely, and they're always like, "You look shockingly like that girl," and
it's like you didn't look like the last person though, so I don't.
That's because it's literally a painting of me.
Yeah.
Could that be Candyman at work? Is that Candyman still painting in his doomed days?
Maybe.
Is he still going?
He might be painting still. Yeah.
Yo, if you explained that, I'm in. I'm in. You take 5 seconds to explain that, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense and is good.
There's cops in this one, and they're very extremely cops. There's so much cops I've never seen someone be such a cop, and it's that guy that's in everything.
Wade Williams?
Wade Williams, yes.
Yeah,
Wade Williams.
He's a cop in everything also.
He's a cop in everything. He's in every TV show for one episode and so many movies. And they're so cop that they're they're just like saying the most offensive shit of all time, and then they just get murdered, and I'm like, that's so cop that they're like,
Yeah,
it's impossible amount of cop.
But then you have Ernie Hudson Jr. out here tearing up the scenery.
Black
dude.
cop, dude. Oh hell yeah.
Dude, yeah, the good cop. I like that there's a good cop and a bad cop in this movie. I do like that.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I wrote down friend cop.
Friendly cop, dude. I love a good friendly cop. And the problem is that like if this movie didn't have titties in it, it would be a TV movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like, is this straight to VHS? I think it must have been.
it might have been. Yeah, it might have been a straight to VOD. I can't imagine this being in a theater, to be quite honest.
I like, and like this movie, like there's a lot of moments where you're like, what the actual fuck? And the one moment that really took me back, that I was like, holy shit, is when Samuel Kraft, the bad cop, the rapist cop, he comes in and Ernie Hudson Jr. is like working on the case, and he's like, "This is my case. Go play basketball, Jamal." And I'm like, "What?"
Yep, we noted that too when we were watching this. It was he was extremely cop, extremely racist.
What the fuck? You can't just say that.
He said another like thing about Mexicans too later on that I forget what it was, but it was fucked up.
I think he said
he said. Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you went there.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit that out probably. Actually.
Yeah, you just put it. You know what? Just put a bleep in there. That's all good.
Yeah.
Then the movie. At this point, the movie gets crazy because she goes to like her friend or something, or who is this guy to her? Whoever it is owns an art gallery.
Yeah, we don't. It's very unclear.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy to her? The guy who has the apartment with the 15 floors? I was confused about that as well.
But he's not banging her because he's banging someone else when he dies.
Yeah, he's banging this other girl, and he tells the girl that he's banging this other. Who the fuck is this guy to you? I'm not sure. I don't know. And so then, and this movie, much like, what was that movie we watched? House of the Dead. This movie's a lot like House of the Dead because there's titties in every scene. Tits everywhere.
A lot of titties as much as possible. We put bees on some titties. If you see some titties, put bees on them.
Yeah, dude.
There's a part where she's crying in the shower that I know you really liked because, like, there's nothing that soothes you more than the sound of a crying woman.
Wow, that's really fucked up. But no, here's the thing, is that she's like, for some reason, like right before she's supposed to have sex with Miguel, she covers herself in honey. Number one, that's not sexy. Number two, when a bunch of bees come and kill you because you're covered in honey, I think that's because you covered yourself in honey. I don't think
really? Where are the bees coming from, Chadley, in your 15-story apartment that you're covering yourself in delicious honey? It actually is nice and good. And then
they came through the window.
Oh, okay. Don't leave the window open then when you're doing a fucking honey bear thing.
No, they broke through the window.
Honey bear roleplay.
Yeah, dude. And so the bees come in, they kill Miguel and this guy. And she comes to his apartment for what? For what? She's the one who finds the bodies, but what are you doing there? What's your purpose? What, like, explain anything in this movie. Like, this movie's so lazy. But then she meets up with Miguel's actor friend, and they just start fucking each other.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason.
Yeah, the actor, the weird guy.
Yeah.
That just busts in trying to be Candyman.
Yeah, busts in trying to be Candyman. What is that about? What the fuck? Why are you fucking that guy? I don't get it.
I don't know.
So then, as if this movie couldn't get any more confusing, the guy that she's fucking, who's like a Spanish guy, a Hispanic, Hispanic,
yeah,
American. He's like, you think Candyman's real? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I know exactly where to go. And he brings her to this old woman who's like some sort of shaman or something.
Yeah, I wrote down Mexican grandma.
Yeah, and this feels more like a New Orleans thing than a LA thing.
No,
whatever.
It's like a Mexican grandma that practices like
voodoo.
What's it called? Like Dumortes or whatever.
Dumortes. Okay, but then the Mexican grandma is like, does the craziest thing in the whole movie. And this is a part where I did have to stop it. I've written down 49 minutes. That's where I stopped it, is where she's like, do you see this egg? Speak this egg's name. And I'm like, what is this? And then she cracks the egg, and there's like a hint of blood on the egg. What the fuck is that even about? What is that about?
I don't know. A lot of fun, I think. That seems like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah, and then a bee crawls out of the egg, and I'm like, oh, I get it, bees. I understand. Look, here's the thing, is that I'm pissed off because it took me till probably the 90-minute mark to realize I just watched 3 horror movies about fucking bees.
Yeah, not the bees, though.
But fucking bees.
You know what? This one, I feel like Candyman goes on a real murder spree in this one, and like he's killing pretty much everybody in sight. And I don't really remember he kills a lot of people in the other ones, but this one I feel like he kills so many people, and like, and, you know,
sometimes for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. You know, in the last one, how like the cops always blamed the girl for all the murders and stuff, or like someone in this one, no one gets blamed for anything ever. They're just like, yeah, they were all suicides or something.
Except for the roommate one, which is pretty much identical to number 2 when the husband gets killed.
Right.
And then the identical slow-mo cops pulling her out scene. But anyway, you're right. There's a lot of times where people are just dead, and then they're just like, oh, I guess he's dead.
Yeah, I guess he's dead. I guess that's fine. We're not going to talk about that anymore. And then she gets trapped in like some sort of warehouse with a ball gag, and it seems to me that that's probably not the first film she's worn a ball gag on. Donna
Do not say that. I think that might be offensive. Yeah, and so then she's like there's like a cult. There's a Candyman cult in this movie, and they own a warehouse.
Yeah, and the thing, when I was looking at this, I'm like, is this a mine or a warehouse? And then I realized, oh, it's a beehive inside of a warehouse, because it looked like a mine, kind of.
Yeah, it looks weird. It's not a good-looking scene. Very dark, by the way.
Oh, impossibly dark.
Impossibly dark. But here's where my questions come in. So the mom in this movie was the main girl from Candyman 2, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Candyman 2, I'm going to tread carefully here because my questions may be offensive. In Candyman 2, Candyman impregnates that woman, and then this is the baby that comes to that. Why is she white then?
Well,
like stark Wonder Bread white.
I mean, that's kind of like all of them. Like, that's the misdirect in all 3 of these movies.
Is that they're white, and then it's like, oh, your great-great-grandmother was in love with the slave. Now, look, in the last one, you can assume, it can be assumed that Candyman fucks his great-granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, you see him do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Why are you doing this?
So that the Candyman bloodline can run on.
But he never impregnates her, does he?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Then there's like this weird like side plot about like, because in this one you don't have to say his name into a mirror for him to kill you. All you have to do is just not believe in him.
Right. Believe that.
Believe. No one will ever believe you. Yeah. Yeah. And this.
What are the rules?
This movie's crazy. This movie should have been called Candyman 3 #Free the Nipple.
Hell yeah, dude.
I wrote this down because it's like the craziest thing that ever happened. So there's like a scene where she goes back to the Mexican grandma's house to get advice because the boyfriend was kidnapped or something.
Yeah.
But her boyfriend has a kid who, by the way, earlier in the movie, she's like, can you stay with me tonight? I don't want to be alone. Doesn't that guy got a kid?
Got a kid.
Doesn't he have a kid? And he's like, yeah, I'll stay here tonight.
Grandma looking after.
Yeah, I guess grandma. Anyway, so he goes to Mexican grandma. Or she goes to Mexican grandma, and she's trying to be like, oh, I need help. He's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then the cops are coming up the stairs, and she turns to the little girl, and she goes, I need another way out of here. And the little girl goes, I know, the back door. What the fuck? Yeah, no shit, the back door. Why wasn't that the first thought you had? The back door. Yikes, guys.
Yes, back door.
Yeah. I do like when the black cop beats the shit out of Samuel Kraft, and then Samuel Kraft gets arrested for it.
That's what I like too. When you just blame everything on the cop, that's a good way to do things. Very good way to clean everything up. Very clean, very cleaned up. Very, very cleaned up.
I'm so curious about this movie. Like, this movie is directed by Turi Meyer, who's
what's he famous for?
He directed episodes of such TV shows as Smallville.
Okay.
And Buffy.
Sure.
And after he directed an episode of Smallville in 2004, he was done. That was it.
That can happen. I've heard that can happen.
Yeah. He was just done. He made an episode of Smallville, and I think that sinks a lot of careers. Is Smallville?
Does it?
It
It was on
must.
TV for like really long time. 12 seasons or something.
Yeah, but then you get to like the final showdown where he's like, "It's either your life or his," and it's like, why is that though? Why is that? He's
Nothing's
like,
explained in this one.
It's like your life or his, and then she's like, "No," and she climbs up and she destroys the painting, and he's immediately like, "Oh no, the painting, my weakness." What? When? What?
Well, that's never been the weakness. That's never been the
When-
weakness. I've watched
guy-
three. It's never been the weakness.
I'm pretty sure the weakness was a mirror, and the mirror's gone.
He killed the mirror.
So the question is, if the mirror is gone, and the whole point of breaking the mirror is that he can't come back, well, come back. How come back?
How come back?
How come back?
How come
No,
back?
at just at one point, she's just in the fucking sewer, and he rides in on a bee chariot.
Yeah.
Oh, and
That
then,
feeling when you have
okay,
a bee chariot.
Here's the craziest thing about this movie too, because this movie's whack
Uh-huh.
and it sucks. But the movie ends with them literally having a picnic at her mother's gravestone.
Yeah.
Fuck
But
does that?
You know how like in the last two movies it ended with the daughter and that's how we knew there was going to be another one?
Yeah.
Ends with a goddamn little family, dude.
Dude,
A little family where it's like, oh, they were gearing up for a fourth one. I know they were trying to make that same movie again. I know they were trying to make it again, but they didn't know how to do it because there was no money.
And then Peele was like, I could write that little girl a movie.
No. In fact, he writes Anthony from the first one a movie.
Oh, good. There's also one more weird thing I want to talk about in this movie.
What's
and it's
that?
like the scene. Okay, so right at the end, after Candyman is dead, Samuel Kraft comes in and he's like, I'm going to kill this bitch.
Uh-huh.
And he goes towards her. And then you hear a gunshot and he falls down. And then the Ernie Hudson character
Walks in
comes
through a door.
walks through it from a different room. How did you shoot him directly in the back from around the fucking corner?
You weren't in the room, brother.
In the room. It makes no
That feeling when
sense.
you snipe someone through a wall.
Oh man, this movie sucks, dude. This
It's very
movie
bad,
sucks
yeah.
so much. I wish I
Very,
could
very
love
bad
it.
stuff.
Because like I have nothing against number 2
Yeah,
being
it's
the
fine.
same movie, but you can't look, fool me once, shame on me, but fool me twice, shame on you. Fucking how dare you make this movie? Oh, 1 star, really bad.
1 star. I agree.
star.
It's bad.
Hey, podcast bud 8000. Hey, Buck.
Oh, this fucking guy again. Hey.
It's me, Podcast Bot 8000. You know who I'm a big fan of?
Who are you a big fan of?
Stephen King, baby.
Oh, me too, me
Stephen
too.
King. Do you like King?
I do actually.
Cool. Oh, I have it on record, Buck LeDuc saying that Thinner's his favorite movie. That's on record now. You can't unsay it. Thinner.
I don't remember saying that.
Did you watch Thinner when your girlfriend read the book?
I did not watch the movie. We watched the trailer and decided against that.
It's a bad move. Excellent film. Watch The Mangler next. But
Podcast Bot loves Stephen King.
But we've already talked about those movies, so you know what we're gonna watch? You know how Stephen King has like a shitload of movies that are 3 fucking hours?
Oh, don't tell me that, Chadley. Don't tell me
So
that
long.
information.
So long when Stephen King movies 3 fucking hours. Well, how would you like to watch The Langoliers?
Yeah, I actually believe this was a recommendation from Dunzo Donalds, our number one Patreon fan.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch it because he's our number 1 fan.
Yeah.
As I'm pretty sure I heard John Travolta say, we're nothing without the fans.
Yeah, very true.
So they're gonna be watching The Langoliers, and don't worry if you want to watch The Langoliers for next week. The whole thing's on YouTube in glorious 120p.
Yeah, it's for free for everyone to watch, so we're all going to watch it together.
Yeah, it's full up on YouTube, clearly ripped directly off of VHS tape.
Or TV or something. I don't know.
Perfect.
That's how the Lord intended us to watch that, though.
So thank you guys for being a part of the Patreon. Of course, we still have the $2 tier going right now. $2 tier gets you 4 extra episodes a month. That's 50 cents.
Basically
episode.
free. That's basically free at that point.
It might as well fucking be free. You know, like when Netflix comes out and it's so cheap, you're like, it's basically free. You wouldn't even notice the $2 leaving your account, my guy. You would just think you bought a Kit Kat bar. You're good.
You're a big
Tell your
Kit Kat
friends.
eater, hey, Chadley?
Tell your friends. tell all your friends. I know y'all are already on the Patreon. Tell your friends.
Okay.
Take your mom's credit card.
All right. Yes, you should steal your mom's credit card. Find us on the YouTube. Let's get those views up. We're doing good on YouTube. We're doing bad on audio now. So maybe everyone went to the video. I don't know. Let's get those views up everywhere.
Check us out on Spotify.
Steal your mom's
iTunes,
phone. Download Spotify.
Stitcher.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we have.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for being supportive.